At what point does it cross the line and the schools need to pull back and focus more on education?
So as long as it's in the curriculum, I'm okay with it. But when you look at police officers, as an example, I have a friend who's a police officer, and if they share any of their political views in uniform, they get terminated. So why not roll that out for anybody who's interacting with children? If you're going to show your political view with the children, you have a risk of being terminated. Guess what? I think a lot of teachers will start to focus on what the education is, because with technology and everything that's going on, you can find out which teachers are not really teaching. They're forcing a DEI. And at the end of the day, it's not I'm against teachers. It's, hey, I want my students I want my son and the children to be educated in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and be able to read and have literacy. That's what we need to focus on all the time. It's not necessarily, hey, we need to focus on this DEI. No, we don't need that right now. The best thing for someone to be successful, they need to be able to read, they need to be able to write, and they need to be able to do math. You're going to succeed in life if you could do those, because math's going to teach you problem solving. Reading and writing is going to teach you to communicate. And those are the most important things for our youth to succeed.
Sure. It sounds like you have a pretty hard stand on, you believe that schools are for academics and rigorous education, and that the social aspect of it should be left to the parents and maybe to extracurricular activities that the kids are in, sports,
exactly.
Learning how to socialize and deal with issues outside of the school.
I think that's how it's historically been. Mm-hmm. And if we could get back to that point, and at the end of the day, the kids know what's right and wrong. And that's why when you ask them a question, they give you a blunt answer, and you can't handle it sometimes. But it's just an answer that they see. And so what they're trying to do is change that and mold them into what they think is correct.
Sure. And another bill, in addition to AB 1955, you mentioned SB 1419 on your website, which was blocking parents from accessing their child's medical records and clinical notes on sensitive services, and talking about how important parental rights are when it comes to being able to access this. You want to talk a little bit about that bill?
Exactly. So that bill is, for my son who was born 805 grams, no one knows that. None of the teachers know that. No one, the doctors, I don't know if it goes in his record, maybe it does now, but they don't know all the complications we've had, his allergies or anything that's going on, that we're taking care of him. And for that to be blocked, that could be life-threatening for our son. And so we had our older son, he had a vaccine, he got vaccine injured. So when it came to COVID, that was the whole thing with COVID, and this mandate on medical is, I don't want my son making that decision because he doesn't know the implications of what it's going to do to his mRNA or DNA with that shot. So those could be life-threatening, and guess what? We're seeing a lot of kids that are very young having heart attacks right now, and I don't know what changed since 2019.